Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. There are different parts and purposes of the sewing machine before starting to sew. Today I will show you parts of the Singer Tradition 2277 sewing machine, which is the one I purchased during the pandemic. All beginner sewing machines should have the same features as this one. This is the thread tension dial. Most sewing will be between 3 and 5 on this dial, I'd say for straight stitching, but you can adjust to fit your needs. This is the thread take-up lever. This is what pulls the thread off the spool and helps supply an even feed of thread to your needle. This is the thread cutter, which is used to cut thread. This is the presser foot, which holds the fabric in place while you sew. This is the needle plate, which is underneath the sewing machine's needle and presser foot, which has holes to allow the needle to pass through as it stitches. This is the removable extension table or free arm / accessory storage, which can be removed to sew one layer of fabric without catching another, and also useful for sewing rounded edges, such as adding cuffs to sleeves and pant legs, which makes it easier to guide the fabric under the needle and makes it less likely you'll catch other parts of your project accidentally. This is the reverse sewing lever, which is used for sewing in reverse, also known as backstitching. This is the bobbin stopper, which is used when you want to wind thread onto the bobbin to help distribute the bobbin thread evenly so it will be compatible with the tension of the top sewing machine thread. The stitch width dial moves the needle left and right, but always use the correct presser foot when sewing a zigzag or decorative stitch to avoid breaking the needle. The stitch length dial is how long each stitch is sewn by your sewing machine. Changing the stitch length adjusts the feed dogs, which controls how much fabric is pulled through with each stitch. For a shorter length, less fabric is pulled through. For a longer stitch, more fabric is pulled through. The pattern selector dial is set to the symbol of the desired stitch pattern. One-step buttonhole lever. A buttonhole foot clips onto the machine after releasing its current foot, which measures the actual size of your button each time it sews a buttonhole. The entire buttonhole will be sewn in one operation. The automatic threader guides the thread through the eye of your sewing machine needle for you so you don't have to do it yourself. This is the horizontal spool pin and spool cap. The spool pin holds the spool of thread, and the cap keeps the spool from coming off the pin. The bobbin winding spindle helps to wind the thread on the bobbin to distribute the bobbin thread evenly so that it will be compatible with the tension of the top sewing machine thread. This is the hole for the second spool pin, but I've never used this one. The hand wheel is an important part of the sewing machine, which is located on the right side of your sewing machine and turned down toward you counterclockwise if looking at the machine from the right side of your machine to take a manual stitch. The hand wheel is mostly used to bring the bobbin thread up through the needle plate and to raise or lower the needle for position changes or pivoting corners. Make sure when turning the wheel it is turned toward your body. The bobbin thread guide allows you to wind the thread to retain some tension while winding the bobbin. The upper thread guide is on top of the machine by the spool thread that guides the thread from the spool down to the needle. The face plate is a metal plate covering the needle bar, which is a steel rod that holds the needle at the lower end fixed by means of a clamp to give the needle its motion. The presser bar controls movement of the presser foot and take-up lever, which covers those parts and also protects them from dust. The presser foot lifter is located above the presser foot at the back or side of the machine, which raises and lowers the presser foot. When the presser foot is lifted, the fabric will not feed through the machine. The handle is used to carry or transport the machine. The power and light switch are located on the back of the sewing machine. The main plug socket is located just below the power and light switch. The foot speed control is for increasing the sewing speed. Releasing it will decrease the sewing speed. This is the power cord. This plugs into the machine, and this plugs into the outlet.